see we got Nader Top and Fat Jeebus in the stream. What's going on, guys? What the fuck is that? I fucking hear that, dude. What do you hear? Yeah, well, trying to survive. I'll give you this. Ray's intro music is jam good. I'm glad you like it. I spent a lot of time, Will, picking out that intro music. Actually, I did. I spent a lot of time getting it right, dude. You know what I'm saying? What is up, guys? How the fuck are you? How is everybody? You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I have a fucking story for you guys. Man. Dude. Okay. We're gonna turn on. Oh yeah, do that. We'll put on a scary movie with a TV in the hallway. That way, the kids see it and get scared and stay out of our room. No, so man, have I got... Will, you've already heard this story. Why? What is going on, my guy? I need to cut my toenails. I just felt how long my toenails. Man, that water's good. Alright, so here's my story. Check this shit out, dude. We're hiring, we're looking for a, essentially, I guess the biggest part of the job description would be a forklift driver. That's what we're looking for, right? They need some organizational skills. They need to take stuff. Here's the job. Here's the whole job. They need to take stuff that's not painted, that needs to be painted, to the paint area with a forklift, flip the stuff in the paint area, okay, with the forklift, and then take the finished painted stuff outside to be stacked, right? Easy. Makes sense. And then it gets more in depth, but that's the main gist of what we're looking for, because we got some big jobs coming up, yada yada. And Will knows what I'm talking about when I say this too. You aren't going to believe me when I tell you I am not exaggerating. I love exaggerating a story. I'll do it in a heartbeat to make it more interesting. I'm not exaggerating. So the guy came in for the interview, and now I will say this because this matters towards the end of the story. When I was texting him last week about coming in for the interview, very short, bland answers, if that makes sense, also, or responses rather. But then I told him, I'm like, hey, what time do you want to be here? I got all day. I'm here, for 8 hours. And he says before 11:30 because his girlfriend has to be to work then. I'm like, cool. We set it up for 8 o'clock, right? We set it up for 8 o'clock, and then so she had to drive it. Okay, so that's important for later. So long story short, I've essentially given him a tour of the shop and how we operate. And I'm explaining his different responsibilities of driving the forklift that he's going to have. And then I give him our shipping paper, and I explain to him how the shipping paper is set up. And I also tell him, because he has to do a forklift test, all I got to do is make sure he's smart enough to find the material, get it together, because it's separated on purpose to make it slightly more challenging. Very simple test, you would think. And I tell him, I'm like, here you go. Here's here's how to find your pieces. They're in this general direction. I pointed him towards all the stuff, which is not much, by the way. And I'm like, I'm gonna go get a forklift while you find what you need to find. What it says on the sticky note. Oh, you want to know what it says on the sticky note? You have to try a different show then. Remember, hit the home button, Netflix, and try a different show. Try it. There's no but, honey.
There's no but.
There's no but. I can't get it to work. What do you want me to do? Huh? Because Mr. Will asked what was on it, so I get ready to show him.
No, it won't if you change.
Try a different show, honey.
Daddy, it's not Sam and Cat anymore.
What is it on then?
I thought you turned on iCarly.
No, I put it on Sam the Cat.
Go try something else.
Go try unwhirling.
So this note is from that one. Says I love you. That's what the sticky note is. Goodness. So anyway. Where was I? Okay. So we're talking about the job, right? And so the guy, I go get the forklift. I come back. I'm pretty sure he hasn't moved from where he was. And I'm like, he could have. I don't think he did. Everyone else that I've been has been out there, you know what I mean, in the rocks near the material. So I don't think he moved. I get over there. I hop off of the forklift. And I'm like, here you go, man, hop on. Now keep in mind, this man told me he did drive a forklift 20 years ago. Has some experience. Granted, I know it's 20 years. Forklifts are pretty much the damn same, if not easier to drive than they were 20 years ago. So he literally just freezes and stares at this forklift. And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the lift, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at the lift. And I'm like, you gonna get on? And while he's sitting there, he doesn't look at me. He's kind of looking at the lift and around it, but he won't look at me. And he's like, he's grunting. I'm hearing little bits of letters here and there, like he's trying to say fucking words. And at this point, he's talked to me, by the way. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm letting him get, and I go, and I'm like, maybe he's intimidated by the forklift. It's not a very big forklift. It only picks up 9,000 pounds. But I'm like, hey, maybe, I don't know. So I asked him that. I'm like, is a forklift a little bit too big, man? Is it too much? I said, I can go get a smaller one, but I mean, at some point you will have to drive these because we only have one other one that's smaller than this. The rest are this size or bigger. And again, he grunts and moans at me. I'm like, what are you doing? What is happening right now, bro? You know what I mean, TikTok? And I asked him, everything that I asked him, keep in mind, I did literally ask for 3 times before I would end up moving on. So I'm like, again, I asked him if he wants me to get a lift, and then I'm telling him, I don't understand, man. I said, do you want me to explain? You want me to like go over the lift for you? And I hear a yeah come out, and I'm like, okay, kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't know how to go over a forklift to somebody who's already ridden and driven forklifts. I'm like, it doesn't quite make sense. So I get up on the lift, and I tell him, I'm like, hey man, I'm just going to go over it as if you're brand new, as if you've never seen this before, never done it before. That way I know I don't miss anything. And he kind of just nods. So I do that. I go over everything of the forklift, all the safety stuff, how the gas pedal works, and this and that, and all the bells and whistles. I've driven forklifts for many years now. I know about them. I know how to drive. So I get back off of the lift, and oh, Billy, you have no idea. You have no idea. So I get back off of the lift, and I'm like, all right, man, hop on. And he stares at the fucking forklift again. Oh, let me back up real quick. I did forget, when I was holding the paper and showing him, and he was on my right, and I was showing him like this and pointing to stuff, and I'm pointing to the steel and all this other shit, and I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye, and he's just staring straight, not looking at my paper. He's just over it, looking at nothing, and I'm like, what? But I'm like, fuck it, let me try anyway. So just keep that in mind as well. So he's still not saying nothing, man. He's still not saying nothing, big Dan. What it do, homie? Billy, you have no idea. So he's again grunting and moaning, and I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. I'm like, I was like, is it the lift, man? Is this not what you think it was? And he finally mumbles the word nervous. And when I tell you, I'm not getting sentences, I'm getting words from this man. I hear the word nervous, and I'm like, I said, dude, don't even worry about being nervous, dude. I said, I get it. I've been nervous on interviews. Of course you're going to be nervous on a job interview. I said, it's no big deal. You don't got to worry about it with me, dude. and then he mumbles and jutters some more. Again, I'm getting no words, and I'm getting real confused and essentially fed up at this point. And I'm just like, I just don't understand. So I continue. I'm not sure what to do, and he mumbles something about pallet jack, and I'm like, well, man, we have one pallet jack, but it's hand power, so we don't have one of the electric pallet jacks, because if we did, we have rocks everywhere, so you're not going to ride around on them. You're just going to get stuck all the time. So I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? And so I tell him, I'm like, well, dude, the forklift's the main part of the job, man. I texted you that the other day, and I tell him, and at this point, I'm done. At this point, I'm like, I'm not hiring this guy. There's something wrong. No shot. So I'm trying to give him an out at this point. So I'm like, hey, is it, I think this is just, maybe it's just more than you thought it was, or different than you thought it was. I said, man, if that's the case, you could tell me, it's no problem. That way I'm not wasting your time, you're not wasting mine, we can move on. And he started, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you, but I gotta be professional, so I can't go, what the fuck, are you on fucking drugs, dude? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm so lost. And I'm like, why don't you go ahead and give me the paper, because he's holding the shipping ticket. I'm like, why don't you go ahead and give me the paper, and then, I'll take the lift inside, and you can just head, it's all good, dude. And he still holds the paper, he still doesn't give me anything, and then I finally, this third time, I reach out and I take the paper and say, go ahead and get me that. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't know if he's having a stroke, I don't know what's going on, dude. And I take the paper, and I'm like, I don't think this is what you thought it was. Maybe it's a little more than you were expecting. I said, that's fine. I said, now I know that, I said, it's cool, dude. So I know you were saying that your girlfriend had to drive you here. So did she drive you here and drop you off, or is she out here, or like, did you drive yourself? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, I wanted to hear one of those things come back at me. I didn't want to yeah to all three of the different things, because that's what happened. So I'm like, did your girlfriend drive you here? And I hear a yeah, and I'm like, did she wait for you? And I think I heard a yeah, so I was like, I'm done at this point. So I usher him towards around the building. I'm like, all right, man, just walk down that driveway. Don't go into the road, turn a left when you see all the cars. Because at this point, I don't know what's wrong with it, So I'm like, just turn left when you get to all the cars. I said, you'll find your vehicle and your girlfriend there, man. So have a good one. And he just kind of started meandering that way. And this is the first time I wonder if the fucker did have a stroke while standing there. He wasn't old. You know what was funny, Gina, that pissed me off? When I went and told Carl about it. Check this out, guys. I went and told Carl about it and how weird the guy was acting and everything. Carl immediately, because Carl's old, guys, thought it was a young guy. He's like, I just don't know what's going on with these kids these days. I said, Carl, he was in his 40s or 50s. Oh. I was like, how you gonna try to just assume they're young as shit because they acted weird? I'm like, no, this man was in his 40s or 50s. So now I'm wondering, could he have had a fucking stroke? Like, I wonder if his girlfriend took him to the hospital after that. Oh my god. He might have. Because the way he was barely speaking and everything else, and I was just like, I don't know what is happening right now. I was as lost as could fucking be, dude. Very confused on my part. I feel like y'all have the worst luck with forklift drivers. All right, so let me tell you this, Nate. If you're Nate, are you still here? I want you in here. I want you. Yo, is your brother getting on? Like, this man's confuzzling me right now. Hold on. I'm looking for text message. I'm finding them. There it is. I'm texting. I'm still texting because I'm apparently slower than I thought for sending 3 letters. Alright, so I'm going to tell it anyway, Nate. I was so confused today because it wasn't a forklift driver per se. It was our painter Yes, sir. Good. He's here. It was our painter, and he's got a bunch of angles sitting out there to paint. He's got a bunch of angles sitting out there to paint, and there's some stuff in the yard that needed to be moved around, and he's out there moving stuff around, and a bunch of shit here to paint, and I'm like, so I go out there and I'm like, hey man, I said, go paint everything while it's drying, come move some stuff, go back, flip it, paint it, and then come move some stuff. I'm like, you gotta get the stuff painted, because then you'll be done out here, go paint it and sit there while it dries. Like, that's not how it's gonna work. You got, I want to do, I'm like, I'm just confused by it, man. I don't know what the fuck. I just don't know. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Sounds, Billy, it was something. It was something else, Billy. Yeah, I don't even know what to make of it. Dude, I'm legitimately wondering if he had a stroke now. Like, would an aneurysm? What's an aneurysm? Would an aneurysm cause that? Oh, so that would can that just happen, or do you need a head injury for that?
No, it can just happen.
You can. I wonder if he had an aneurysm, had like a blood clot, made its way loose, got his heart pumping, coming into a new place. Maybe. Never know. Could have been, dude. Could have been. You would have lost it. You're better than I. Dude, like I said, I have to keep it professional. Like I said, I wanted to ask him what the fuck was wrong with you and if he was on drugs, but I gotta keep it professional. You know, I'm working. Gotta be the big boss man. Stay professional, because you guys know me. Real professional. Thank God we don't work in a place. I would hate to work in a place that would have to act that professional all the time. Man, that would suck. I don't think I would be very happy there. I know I wouldn't. Cambridge International was that way, and I fucking hated working there. I didn't mind the work. I truly didn't. It was the damn people. They suck. I hated them. Dude, you can't fix stupid. I mean, goodness. That is facts, Nate. Oh, Nate, I did say something about the 21st to you. Right, I did say something to you, didn't I? Yeah, you reminded me. Oh, they got the wedding. That's what it was. I knew it was something. I couldn't remember what. Did you guys cancel going to that yet, Nate? So you can come to our house? You did, right? All right. I'm just going to assume you did. Leave it at that. Oh, man. I wonder if Danny and Brandy are fighting. Because your brother said he can't get on there. Or if Brandy said he couldn't get on there. Oh, look, I walked, Billy, after my interview with that guy, I walked into Nathan's office. I said, I'm going home. My day is, I've spent the energy for my day. Obviously, it was still funny. Yeah, no, it was weird though, man. That was a unique experience to have something just that odd play out. Like I really wish I had a camera, because the amount of hesitation and mumbling and noises that he made was just so bizarre. It was so much more than you would think it would be. I feel like everyone's going to think I'm exaggerating, because I was actually actively thinking of that. I'm like, people are going to think I'm lying when I tell them about this, because it's so much that's actually taking place. Just a WTF. Mom, I can't wait. I know you're there. Oh, Evie said that she loves you and that she misses you. She told me to tell you if you join the stream. So, was he worse than Jake? Because Jake was bad. Oh, by far. No, by far, Nate. I hired Jake. I mean, when I talked to Jake, he seemed competent enough. You know what I mean? He seemed like he had potential, which apparently he was just a lot dumber than I fucking thought he was. But like I said, this guy, I mean, he never even touched the forklift. We essentially walked through the shop once. I told him what his job would have been, which, like I said, take stuff to paint, flip stuff and paint, take stuff away from paint outside, stack it according to the jobs, ready for the trucks, potentially load the trucks, and then later on potentially unload the trucks. That's his job. That's it, Nate. That's the whole job. And like that seemed, once I started getting into his actual responsibilities, when we hit that area of the shop, walking through paint, that's when it just seemed he was just overwhelmed. He just seemed gone at that point. And it was just, man, it was just very confusing. I didn't know what to even think about it. Like, what am I supposed to, it's just weird. Very, very peculiar. Damn it. Come on. Yeah. No, he was definitely worse than Jake. Man, that man still drives by in his Charger and revs it when he goes by the shop. Does he really? No, that wasn't. Wait, wait. Jake.
Jake.
Which one am I thinking? The older guy.
Yeah. He still revs his car.
No, I know which one we're talking about. I'm thinking of the, what the hell was his name? The boy that said I fired him because he was sick.
Willis?
No, not Willis. Did he say that? No.
You didn't fire him.
No, I didn't fire him. He quit. No, I thought Jake. No, that was Jake. You're right. I was thinking of the Greece guy. He was Greek. That guy? John. That's, I was thinking of John. Either way, no, I would say, I would rather have Jake than the guy I interviewed today. I'd rather have John than the guy I interviewed today. Actually, no, I didn't hire Jake then. Yeah, Nathan hired Jake because I told Nathan we shouldn't hire Jake because I said he wasn't. Oh, then Steve, yeah. Steve, he was out of that group. He was the better one for sure. He just quit in a dick way. Just a fucking beard. On the plus side, though, Will got his welding hood, so that's good. Does he still? Why would he still rev it when he goes by? I'm impressed. I see him in Walmart all the time, and it's so awkward because he still remembers me. Oh, of course he does now. I'm glad I don't run into him. I'm glad that happens to you. Look, Will saying, haha, John. John, cool guy Jodas. That's what it was. Oh, cool guy Jodas. Oh, yeah. He was a nice enough guy. He just really bad at his job. And then there was Jordan. Jordan wasn't too bad, but she overcomplicated things for sure. She definitely overcomplicated things. Still can't forget watching him wreck his shit. Oh, Steve, yeah. That was great, dude. Oh man, Nate, did you happen to see the fucking 18-wheeler that went into the ditch this morning? At some point? Because me and Gina rode by, and he was all cockeyed. Like, the trailer was here, and the front of it was like 45, and he was over in the ditch, and they had a bunch of lights, and of course police and stuff, and a giant fucking crane trying to pick this truck. I wonder what was in it. I wonder if it was empty, or had all kind of weight in it. John, cool guy, Judith. Or however you spell her name. I think it was spelled that way. Either way, we know who's you talking about. Gina, would you have considered Jordan a ditzy white girl? That's what Nate said. I agree with you guys. I wanted to see what Ken said. Sugar so sweeties. What the fuck's your name? Sugar so sweetie sweet. Wouldn't it be sweet sweetie? Not sweetie sweet. Sugar so sweet sweetie. Sugar so sweetie sweet. I don't know. Weird name choice. Odd name. But no, she was totally King Dork, my dude. How's it going, King? Out with me? We was working out. Yep, Gina and Ray, and Ray's not happy. Like it,
Try.
if he would try, right? I don't